We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
What do you want to do now, Cap?
The same thing we always do. Fight them until we can't.
Oh, that is right. We are fighting them until we can't. Welcome to episode 5, the United Resistance Podcast. This is your host, Supreme Heretic. Man, it is good to be with you guys. There is a lot happening, which we'll get to. First off, quick update. You guys have been all in on what's happening with me. I want to say, thank you to everybody that's helped out so far with the stuff with getting the word out about the GiveSendGo. Thank you to those that have tipped on the channel and on the GiveSendGo in the past 24 hours. I was up against being evicted. I'm still not all the way there, but I'm very much closer than I was. I'm only about $92 off the pace. I'm caught up at that point. So I want to thank everybody that did reach out and help, and thank you so much. Now, let's get into the program, shall we? Because, man, there's a lot going on. So, where do we start today? Well, how about we start with this a-hole, and let's talk about this guy for a second. We're going to share this off of Twitter. This comes from Chris D. Jackson. Breaking. Senator Brian Schatz is taking a stand. I believe this guy's a Dem, by the way. He's blocking all of Trump's State Department nominees until USAID is fully operational. No aid, no approvals. Who else loves this? Obviously, in the comments, this dude's getting roasted. A buddy of mine, actually, that I know, Super Colonizer, he said, "Worshipping money laundering grifters, you're on brand." And it's funny, is that Chris Jackson guy's a lib himself. He's an idiot, but, I'm not surprised. As soon as the USAID was outed as horrifically spending taxpayer money on shit that they're not supposed to be spending taxpayer money on, and Elon is just going through and absolutely smashing everything. Like, he's leaving no stone unturned. He's just like, oh, well, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this has been a misexpenditure, this has been a misexpenditure, this has been a mix. He's posting them out there publicly. So they can't hide behind the same old status quo anymore. They can't hide who's involved. They can't hide what they're doing with taxpayer money. There's nowhere to run. And the funniest thing about this is, you know, you've got libs getting triggered about, oh my God, Elon's got to go. Fuck Elon, blah, blah, blah. You know, and people trying to dox the technicians that are getting into the computers and actually exposing the information. By the way, y'all, if you want to help the channel, you can use the tip link. It goes direct to the PayPal. And thank you all again. And I'm going to say hi to everybody in a minute, but to finish my thought, yes, the veil has been lifted, as Small Time Republic just stated. The veil is lifted. By the way, catch up on the hellos. Pinochet's helicopter tour is here. Our buddy Terminus S, great friend of the channel, is here. Small Time Republic, of course, the aforementioned, is here. Scattered Night, great to see you as well. Scattered Night is here. So the veil's been lifted. And now the information is coming fast and furious. At this point, Elon's a must follow on X because there's shit coming out left and right every hour about misappropriated funds. I am not surprised by this whatsoever. Not anything whatsoever that he's finding. You know, I'm just shocked that all this misappropriation for decades was kept so neatly under the hat. You got to hand it to him. It's impressive because I don't think we knew to this magnitude of the misspending that was going on. We always suspected it, many of you folks, and so did I. But to see the actual shit they've been spending the money on, my goodness. Meanwhile, you have triggered libtards coming out left and right. The Democrats, the fucking, you know, everybody else just saying, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because their purse strings have been snipped. It's like Wonderland watching this shit. Wonderland watching it. In the meantime, on the tariff side of things, we're doing nothing but winning. And where do I start with that? Trump filled out an executive order today starting the American Sovereign Wealth Fund. And that is essentially going to go toward actual American projects, infrastructure, and shit it's supposed to go to. And it has been just a glorious day from that standpoint. Meanwhile, this is from our friend N Wokeness. Let me add this thing in the chat because Uncle Chucky is mad. He's being a doomer. Look at this.
Or the IRS, or even the Social Security Administration. They could be next. Or maybe our national security agencies. We also know this is just the beginning. If Doge attacks USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service, or the IRS, or even the Social Security Administration. They could be next. Or maybe our national security agencies. Also,
Oh my God. Uncle Chucky, Jesus Christ. He's about to have a spastic episode. You know, honestly, you guys, are we really crying crocodile tears? Are we really crying crocodile tears? Let's look at this tweet from Chaos Coordinator, aka Tori. She's a very big independent journalist. Did a doc with Millie Weber at one time that was very popular, the Shadowgate doc, if you've ever seen it. These texts going out to different people. Obama says, we have to mobilize forcefully. She asks, what is Obama mobilizing? The Democrats are just getting smacked. And the crooked Republicans. Lindsey Graham all of a sudden is yes, yes, yes on all the nominees. Could that be because it was outed that Lindsey Graham is getting a shit ton of money from Big Pharma, and he's also, according to Doge, been getting really interesting donations? Funny how he changed his tune on the nominees. He said, I'm a definite yes. I mean, this is just crazy. Ilhan Omar is going ape shit.
We are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you gut the Constitution and you install yourself as the sole power, that is how dictators are made.
Oh my God. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Talk about a grifter. Talk about somebody coming out two sides of their mouth. Okay, we all know she's a brother fucker. And she's going to come out two sides of her mouth when she's a damn America-hating bitch. And I'm not going to mince words on this channel. I don't care what YouTube says. They can censor the shit out of me, but you know what? Ilhan Omar, you are a traitor. You are an America-hating bitch. That's facts. That's facts. You know, you're coming out here saying like, oh, we can't have our slush fund anymore. The humanity. Yeah, you didn't care about American citizens whatsoever. You're openly anti-Semitic. You're openly a Christian hater. You know, you have tolerance for no one, but you want to go and bitch because your slush fund got discovered. They are running like roaches, and my God, is it glorious, you guys. I mean, did anybody bargain for this? I mean, shit. We're not even, 20 days in? And it's amazing. I mean, this presidency is amazing. I mean, we wanted Trump to go in bull in a China shop, but damn. I mean, he means business. It's, you guys, I am just blown away. Here we go. 37 minutes ago, Libs of TikTok. Let's go ahead and share this one as well. This is an important one. Let's check this out, guys.
I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and sending all education and education work and needs back to the states. We want them to run the education of our children because they'll do a much better job of it. You can't do worse. We spend more money per pupil by 3 times than any other nation, and yet we're absolutely at the bottom. We're one of the worst. So you can't do worse. We're going to end education coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to close it up, all those buildings all over the place. And you have people that in many cases hate our children. We're going to send it all back to the states. Thank you very much. And
now, that makes sense. That makes sense. Take it back to the states. Shut the damn thing down, because all they're doing is creating radicalized students because of all these damn kook teachers. So give it back to the states, man. You know, I love my businessman in chief. I love my businessman in chief. Because he came in, rolled up his sleeves and said, fuck this, we're clearing it off the table. Can anybody be mad at that? What up, Dwayne? What up, Vigilante Williamson? And what up, Mark Lurseth? Man, Mark, it's good to see you, dude. I have not talked to you in ages, man. It has been a long time. You know, and to speak to your other comment, yes, Lindsey Graham long since needs primary. I'm willing to give Elon a chance, and I'll tell you why. I don't trust Elon entirely, but it's better to take a devil you know than the ones that are just pure devils. You know, we're on offense. We're taking it to them. You know, we've sat here for 4 years as citizens, bent over and screwed. Bent over and screwed. Just watch the price of groceries rise and rise and rise. Watch the barrier of entry to owning a home go up in smoke. Watch the barrier to having a roof go up in smoke, period. Because good luck trying to get in an apartment without going through 5 million hoops. We've watched the price of automobiles go crazy with interest and ridiculous loans. You know, we've seen nothing but destruction. So when we go and start to destroy their constructs, they get mad. Hail to our buddy Wes Moody of whatever cast. Make sure you support and check out Wes on Rumble. Wes, I understand if your voice is not up to snuff, feel free to hang in the chat. Trust me, I feel you on the economy. It's a struggle. I get some of this takes time to pay off, but I need some relief. Brother, I know. Look, I feel Vigilante Williamson. Okay, you got me right here with a give, send, go. Okay, I'm working, right? But a 2-week paycheck can't even stretch me through living out a hotel and to have food on the table. That's a problem. Wes has been living hand to mouth. Hail Radioactive. Many of our other viewers in here living in poverty. Why? Why is there a working poor class? You want to tell me that? Why is there a working poor class? There shouldn't be that. We are American citizens, all of us. What's up, Sherry? How you doing? Great to see you, dear. We are all American citizens, most of us. I know I got Canadian peeps that come in here. No offense, guys. But the majority of us are American citizens. Born here, raised here. We should not have a working poor class. We need to bring things back to the middle. We could end this homeless crisis so easily if we hadn't misappropriated shit 10 times over. They talked to Zelensky. And I'm sure that you guys have seen that article floating around or see that on your X timeline. Zelensky himself said 58, billion of the aid sent to Ukraine is missing. That's right. He threw the apparatus under the bus because he knows he's guilty of sin. So he sang like a canary. So you tell me where that taxpayer money went. It sure as hell didn't go to bolstering the care for the veterans. Didn't go to helping the homeless, veterans included. Didn't go to feeding the hungry. Taking care of Americans. It didn't go to that. No, we're funding Bernie Sanders' third home. And we're funding all of Elizabeth Warren's vacations and Nancy Pelosi's stock adventures. You know, it's ridiculous. We're making pharmaceutical CEOs richer because they're getting their cut because they get their back scratched when they lobby all our politicians. You know, the best thing that could have happened is this USAID complete scam getting exposed. And I want them to expand beyond this. I want them to take down the fucking NGOs. You know, because I'm going to tell you something. I was relaying this last night when we were doing Prism. All right. You know what they tell you? Some of you out there may be familiar. You know what they tell you when you're in a situation where you're living off the streets, homeless, whatever? Call 211 to get resources for help, right? Call 211. Every stinking charity on that list, the United Way, the Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, a whole bunch of other ones. They found that the Lutherans are also involved, by the way, are in cahoots with the UN. They were all in helping the illegals with the debit cards, the lodging, food stamps, the whole 9 yards. They were all involved. But these are the people that are supposed to be in charge of helping citizens in crisis, helping people that are on the street that don't have food or that don't have lodging or both. What the fuck happened? Because it used to be we gave to these charities, and these charities actually did help people. And somewhere along the way, they got caught up, just like the churches did, co-opted by the globalists as another apparatus. And Radioactive, thank you for pointing that out. You know, this damn well makes me sick. Because we're just scratching the surface, and Doge is just scratching the surface of the absolute misappropriation of funds that's been happening for decades. And you wait. Because you guys think it's spicy now. You guys think that it's a fight now. And it's not the trade war, because there is no trade war. Let's don't get it twisted, because the trade war thing, we got this. It's going to favor us 10 times out of 10. Because nobody's going to beat Trump in a trade and tariff war. They're not. I mean, even the BRICS countries, he put them on notice. Trump's like a G on that shit. But what I'm saying, oh, Rita, hello. Great to see you. What I'm saying is, in Matthew 16:18, whether you're a bot or not, you got a great point. And that's what I'm saying. We need to look to the Bible, those of us that do believe, because your relationship with God is going to be the answer. But that's a whole nother street. But even Jesus himself said, you know, anywhere can be the church. It's you and him. He sees you, he hears you. You know, the whole thing about the fig tree. Yeah, read about Jesus and the apostle Nathaniel. You guys know what's up with that. But going back to what we're talking about here, yeah, it's just amazing how badly they have screwed over the American people for so long. You know, I'm so glad when we originally started this show. Rest in peace, Will. He's an OG of the show. Shout out to all my previous hosts, everybody that was involved. And thank God that I started this program, because we have been hammering it ever since day one. That there has always been active psyops on the American people by our government. This proves it. Smoking gun. Why were the psyops happening? To distract you, to brainwash you, to keep you from asking questions. Elon has actually made himself a big time target. I'm surprised there in the coming days if there's not hit teams going after him. People trying to dox the Doge technicians. Hell, them guys are in trouble themselves, but wait till the hit teams start trying to come after Elon. Because, yeah, that's 10 kinds of crazy right there. But man, we are seeing a big time change in where the power lies. Hold on one sec, folks. The BRB. Sorry, guys. Wife was at the door. She just coming home from work. But we are seeing the big time shift in where the power lies. And I'll be honest, I feel like it's going back to the people. You know, let me say this about guys like that. You know, because look, I follow a lot of people like that, Wes. I follow David Icke. I follow Greg Reese. I follow a lot of people on X. You know, follow James Lindsay, people like that. All kind of perspectives. You know, you got these guys that are trying to be super black pill. You got the rah-rah, you know, what I kind of call like MAGA without paying attention. Then you've got the MAGA people. Then you've got the people that are completely batshit crazy on the other side. And I look at the entirety of that, and I have to say that some of those people, you can see it from a mile away. They're just sitting there saying what they need to say, blah, 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 spouting off at the mouth because they want to be edgy. They want to catch that edgy side of people, make a buck. You know, let me tell you this. All right, guys, and I'm not, and by no means am I trying to start no shit here. I'm just making an observation in total. Remember when I first started on YouTube, I told you guys the story. I came from being a Twitch streamer before that. I watched how, quote, people sat there and just essentially hoard themselves out to be influencers. They're just like your friend. 1 minute they get more popular and then they forget who you are. Then they turn themselves into completely different 180 on their content because, oh, look at me. Those people are fake as fuck. I seen it on Twitch, and then I came to YouTube thinking it was different. And to a large degree, with certain people, it was different because Props to Wes, he's never changed. Props to Tommy, he's never changed. Props to a bunch of people that haven't changed. But there is that particular section of the quote, whether you want to call it the Phantom Menace, the Fellowship, whatever we're calling it this week, the people that decided, oh, I'm cute, I'm going to be an influencer, so I'm going to talk about this all the time and lay the grip down. And they've done that. No, it's funny how Wes and I never ever changed how our channels were. Hell, Wes paid the price and got his channel nuked. I've never changed what I've done. I expanded out of pop culture after I went independent after working for Bounding, because I wanted to get at the heart of what was happening. Because we could sit there and talk about Hollywood till we're blue in the face. We ain't going to change nothing there. And we know in the grand scheme, those of you that are thinkers, you understand that all of that shit is downstream from what's happening, because entertainment at the end of the day is a distraction. Sports, fucking distraction. You know, the movies, all this shit is a distraction. You know, they got people so caught up yelling about woke Trek or woke Star Wars. Then people are caught up arguing about that, and they're getting robbed blind out of their pocket by the government, because all they want to do is talk about woke Trek and woke Star Wars. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to call out the fucking thieves. I ain't worried about, you know, who's putting out the next woke project. I mean, yeah, you guys know my stance on it. I hate it. But my bitching about it is not going to change it. So why do the content if it ain't going to change anything? Yeah, you know, and Matthew, listen, I could get into the whole thing about, you know, if we wanted to go the entertainment route, about how a lot of those, especially Star Wars and others, were derived from religion, but that's a discussion for a different day. To stay on topic, all of that shit's downstream from what we're talking about here, and we've always, since we've individually woken up, I don't care when it was that you realized that there's more down this rabbit hole. Now we're on the journey and we understand. We know. So now there's a lot of us that are going after the truth. Because when you start to find the truth and you get a taste of finding that truth, you become relentless in finding that truth. And you know, I have been that. I mean, from sitting there live streaming during J6 to going a week after the fucking derailment and investigating for myself at East Palestine. And again, rip Will, thank you, Will, for everything you did on that trip. Because that was my boy. Rest in peace, brother. You know, it's just, I want to go after the truth. That's why my latest videos, I'm putting out how and why the homeless and housing crisis is happening. I'm telling my story, but I'm putting it out. I want you guys to understand this shit has been manufactured. It has been manufactured from day one. It was designed to kill American citizens and keep us poor. Keep us poor, keep us slaves, keep us on the hamster wheel. Keep us from ever owning anything, keep us from ever becoming a full property owner. Maybe a property owner in name only, because really and truly, when you're being taxed on your property, you don't own it. And when you're paying the bank for it, you don't own it. Amen, Vigilante. Amen. And I'll have the next part of my report on the housing and homeless crisis soon. I'm going to record that video most likely tonight. And no, those videos don't have high production value. They don't have fancy headers. They don't have fancy footers. They don't have fancy intros. They are just raw, real, to the point journalism. You know, because these days, that's what I'm about. That's what I've always been about. I don't care about making the channel pretty, making it all blinged out. What is this, like, 2004, like blinging out a MySpace page? I don't need to do all that. Don't need to do all that. I don't need to make super edits and perfect thumbnails and everything else for each of my videos. Yeah, I understand. It helps with the algo. It helps with the views, the whole 9 yards. But what I'm saying is, that's not where my heart lies. My heart lies in going after the truth. And it's whether I talk about, I'm doing a Midnight Prism and I'm talking about the paranormal, or I'm doing this show and we're talking about the current events. That's where it's at. So let's go back to some of the newsy stuff. The more stuff has come out about the air disaster. The transportation secretary is asking the right questions about, why was the staffing levels what they were at in the tower. Other people are asking why the one female Black Hawk pilot's socials are all scrubbed. Oh, wow. Well, I want to show you guys this one because we're talking about AI. Look at this, folks.
Any kind of a search warrant, or even with what we have learned is that the IRS, in fact, has been using AI to access bank accounts of American citizens without any kind of a search warrant, or even without any specific claim that they have committed a crime. So this was something that was discovered by an undercover journalist, and what they found is that the IRS has claimed that they have access to every single person's bank account. This person also indicated that they've been working with the Department of Justice and that they have absolutely no problem whatsoever going after the little guy to make sure that they are paying their taxes. This is such a blatant violation of the Fourth Amendment that Jim Jordan and I sent a letter to the IRS demanding that they provide additional information about what they are doing with AI and what they are doing to protect the civil rights of America.
All right, so we have that on the table. So if that doesn't provide you a case right damn there, Vigilante Williamson is right. Taxation is god dang theft. Why the fuck should I rush down to H&R Block and say, oh, hey, take my W-2s. Fuck me in the ass. Take my money. You know, Jesus. Sorry, Lord, I don't mean to take your name in vain, but what the hell? You know, all you do when you see a report like that, you just shake your damn head and you say, those motherfuckers. Because they've sat there and basically spied on our shit the entire time. The IRS is good for nothing shit. I hope Trump dismantles the damn thing. I hope he does. I am now fully on board rooting for that shit. I was rooting for it before, but man, I'm really rooting for it now. I hope he dismantles the hell out of it. God. Man, sorry guys, I'm fired up. I'm going on the rants today. If you want to help the channel, just hit the handy dandy Stream Elements tip link right there. All tips go straight to the PayPal. It helps. I'm $92 off the pace. If anybody helps, that will keep the eviction completely away. Thank you for all those that have helped. Vigilante Williamson says, if he does that and dismantles the IRS, I'll wear a MAGA hat on Stream No Lie. Bro, if I had a fucking MAGA hat right now, I would wear it right now. I would rip that shit right now. Because he's already doing crazy shit that I'd never even bargained for. Man, Matthew 16:18, he's dropping some great scriptures in the chat. All that openeth the matrix is mine, and every firstling among thy cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. Vigilante Williamson said, yeah, I'm critical as fuck of Trump and the IRS, and I'm repping his ass. Well, look, I can tell you 2024 won't go broke. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I can tell you this. The majority of our wars, and you guys already know this, you know, and I understand how we grew up. I'm a Gen Xer. I grew up on the original textbooks. You know, all of that, history books, science books, everything else. And to a large degree, I agree with most of it. But in history, what have we always been told? History is written by the victor. What it boils down to with World War II and other wars, things are not what they seem, because in the end, the banking clans have their hands in all of it. The military-industrial complex has their hands in all of it. And that is a construct of what? Globalists. Every war that has happened has been orchestrated, and I'll argue possibly even the civil one. So there you go. We already know that the United Nations, ever since before it was the United Nations, the League of Nations, had their fingers in every little pie. We already know. So we're ahead of the game. At this point, we're waiting for confirmation. I mean, this is stuff we already know. Now, when that confirmation comes, we'll see. But, 2024 won't go broke. I got to say, I'm anxious to see when that information comes out. I want to know how much they're actually going to throw out. Are we going to learn the truth about Mars? Are we going to learn the true mission of NASA? See, because there's so many layers underneath all this shit, you guys. Shit that we don't even comprehend yet. That we're safely kept out of the loop of because it's need to know. The citizens don't need to know. If they knew that, what would they do? Yeah, speaking of confirmations, Kronos, I do believe that there will be some probably by Wednesday. As far as Gabbard, Patel, and RFK. We'll see. Yep, the Titanic didn't Titanic itself. They're wiping degenerates from society back then and called him a dictator. Yeah. Tulsi Gabbard. The Hawaiian surf lady serves in the National Guard, and used to be a Democrat, came over to the Republican side after she realized Kamala and Hillary and all of them were out for themselves. Tulsi. And I actually think Tulsi's based. There's been a lot of people on our side that have been skeptical of her. I actually think she's based. When you hear her talk about Snowden, I actually think Tulsi's pretty based in pardoning Assange as well. Yeah. No, a lot of people, vigilante, they simp for hot women. Come on, you already know this. That's why a lot of dudes ride Kristi Noem's jock, because she's halfway attractive. That's why a lot of people ride Lauren Boebert's jock, and the same thing with Anna Paulina Luna. A lot of things, a lot of truths are going to come out in the next couple months, guys. So I'm just saying, we are going to have so much material for shows between me, Wes, whoever else has stayed based and actually does good political commentary that didn't just gravitate to it after they got laid up on pop culture, so they're like, oh, let's change up. No, actual channels that cover all of this, there will be material for days. And I'm just here to tell you guys, Wes and I are going to be on it. Guaranteed. So, anyhow, we are closing in on the hour mark. I wanted to do an hour program. And frankly, guys, it is part of being a fiance I am going to go spend some time with my significant other because I do have to greet her after work. Parrothead says, Drew's dong is so big, he uses the rings of Saturn as a cock ring. Bam! That's the beware the Drew phase of the day.
I think I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
But anyways, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Listen to my rant. That's some of the latest what's going on. If anything breaks, obviously, we'll have it in the next show. I've got a big work week ahead. I got to work tomorrow. I've got a couple of 10-hour days the following 2 days. And then I'm off Friday and I work Saturday. So I got a lot of work up ahead for the rest of the week. So the next program we should have out somewhere, I want to say, probably most likely Sunday. We'll do a Prism if we can, and we will do another United Resistance. Yeah, it's funny. Canada capitulated real quick, didn't they, Parrothead? So did Mexico. But yeah, we covered the tariff wars if you go back through Parrothead. But anyways, again, really quick before I go, guys, if you want to help out, use the handy dandy Stream Elements tip link here. Go straight to the PayPal. It's always appreciated, never required. Thank you again to all those that know the situation. You guys know I'm in the middle of possible eviction here, and I've been gaining some traction. $92 away, and we're good. If I can get there, great. If not, I'll keep everybody apprised of what's happening. Such is the life of living in a hotel. But again, thank you so much for everyone that has helped the cause, help keep a roof over us at the minute. So thank you again. And soon I will introduce Athena to everybody. One of these times I will have her on either as a guest or let her guest host the stream. Either or. We'll have her take her shot at it. All right, folks. Thank you again for coming out. Appreciate you, all of you. My virtual background is sucking tonight because there's way too much light. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'll see you soon. Promise that.